Hello. So I'm Snow, and this is Chester.
Hello.
We are doing a podcast on the Future Diary. If you've seen our last podcast of it was So What Am I Spider? We ended it off saying that we're going to talk about Blue Lock or whatever it was, like in the anime. But I realized the one that I picked from last time actually wasn't fully out yet, so I chose Future Diary instead.
And she actually did
Essentially.
choose this one. It's nice.
Yeah. So essentially this anime is like I'm still learning about it. There is 12 diary users. And with the 12 diary users, each one has their own essentially diary, exactly. But they all have like throughout the day, their diary all tells them different things. For example, one of them is like her diary is able to escape routes, right? She's able to escape, right? Another one is about how he sees what he does or whatever, but it's like he's not actually saying it about himself. It's just an overall perspective, right? There's one of a stalker. You will all learn these ones really quick. That she can get 10 minutes of information of the one that she loves, right? 10 minutes of interval information. And essentially, they need to kill each other for one diary user to become God, essentially. But as we go through this like anime and we talk about it, there's going to be a lot of names rotating in and out. Um, and yeah, I think you guys will like it. I don't know. Do you have anything to add, Chester?
Um, just the major synopsis of it, if you're okay with me doing that.
Yeah, go for it.
So basically, it's what Snow said. So, this is gonna be a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Sakai Esuno. It was serialized in Karakawa Shoten's Shonen Ace between January 2006 and December 2010, and has been collected into 12 Dankobon volumes. The plot depicts the Diary Game, a deadly battle royale between 12 different individuals who are given future diaries, special diaries that can predict the future by Deus Ex Machina, the god of time and space, with the last survivor becoming the heir to the universe. So, it did run for 4 years. It did have a spin off on it at one point. I'm not entirely sure if we will be doing that or not, but it's worth mentioning it just in case you guys want to go watch it afterwards, you will want to go read it afterwards. If you have anything to chime in, if you've already either read it and watched it, or read it or watched it, then something you guys can add. No spoilers, by the way. We're going episode by episode. On this particular podcast episode, we are doing a maximum of 5 episodes, right? The silence is a yes. So, 5 episodes, at least for today. The next time around we might change it around. We are doing that just so that we can do the story arcs. Snow is muted, so that might be why she's
Sorry,
muted, but
I had to go check on what pup was licking.
okay, no worries. I figured. But yeah, that's we're doing a maximum of 5 today. Next time around we might do different. It all
Yeah, I
depends on
think I
how the
episodes work out.
story arcs go. Yeah, because
Yeah.
this anime likes its fillers, so fillers and
Yeah.
side stories. So
It's also the reason why we're gonna kind of move with this one is just like Chester said, like the episode 5 and 6 go together, so there's no point of us leaving, or sorry, 4 and 5, pardon me, go together. So there's no point of us leaving on 4 because that's where we're comfortable normally doing, and then go to starting next time episode 5. Like that's just gonna leave you guys a little confused compared to like episode 6 starts off on a completely different thing. So sorry.
personally, I'd be
Episode
okay with doing up to 4, but yeah, it would leave a lot of gaps and a week of waiting. I mean,
I think it would also
it
be
would be
faster since we're already talking about what is currently happening and we would have to do less recap.
true. Well, I mean, for this one, a good example is that no, the first episode had a lot of stuff going on there. The second one had very little stuff going on there.
Hmm.
So it's not a whole lot of loss. So
Yeah,
whether or not we
that's
do four
true.
or five, it's just we can consolidate two and three into one.
And
So
real,
that way we're
yeah,
still basically doing four. So,
that's fair.
anyways, Snow is starting us off with one. Go ahead, Snow.
No, you're
Okay,
starting.
fine.
You have notes for one.
I do have this for one. All right. So, episode one, it starts with a girl trying to wake up a figure laying down. There are pills thrown around. It looks like it was suicide. Um, a figure is in a cage, and that's being shown for some reason. The girl calls out for mom or dad or her parents. A hatchet then swings and cuts the girl off when she tries to scream. The next scene shows a classroom letting out for the day. Yugitero, uh, a boy in in a hat. I misspelled that. How did I misspell that?
He
Boy in a
goes as
hat.
Yuki.
Yeah, Yuki Amano. Last name is Amano. So, a boy in a hat is asked if he wants to join a group for games, but since he's known for saying no, he's just left alone. Instead, he adds entries into his cell phone's diary, and he adds entries for everything he encounters or everything that happens around him. When he gets home, Amano pulls a blanket over his head and talks to his imaginary friend, Deus Ex Machina, the god of time and space, who asks if he's lonely. He then tells Yuki that his next game is going to be fun and he would give Yuki a future. Later on, when Amano wakes up, he does notice, or sorry, when Yuki wakes up, he notices the diary and his phone shows entries for that day already. He dismisses them, but ends up finding out that they are all accurate from getting a double bullseye in the morning when he first wakes up to the news talking about a death overnight. When he gets home, Amano or Yuki
Yuki.
speaks with Deus, who tells him his diary is linked to him. If his phone breaks for any reason, then he dies too. Because of his diary, he ends up getting the highest test scores basically overnight and avoids getting beaten up by classmates for his high scores. Yuno, or Gasai Yuno, is a girl that he ends up noticing in his class molding clay while they are taking quiz. And she tells the teacher, it's just a mental exercise, it's just to help me concentrate. At the end of the day, the clay figure is sitting at Yuki's desk in the form of Deus's assistant. There is electronic warbling, and when he looks at his phone, it reads serial killer corners and kills me, followed by dead end. Yuno confronts him and tells him it's her future. He runs away, but Yuno is always at his destination before him. Each time, the diary changes to show the street killer gets to him. Now, every single time this happens, the diary changes. You hear static or electronic um, feedback,
It's like it's
followed
very
by
noticeable.
yeah. It sounds. They did a pretty good job of it, to be honest. No. Um, then
Ooh,
confronts him.
sorry. It's like the alerts. Like, you know, when you get the alerts on your like phone, guys, of like hurricane or whatever, right? Like tornado, whatever, you get like the national wide alerts on your phone. It's like that.
You think so? I didn't think it was like that. Thought it was just like
It's a good analogy for it
a
though.
dis.
Like a description, right? Like how like noticeable it is.
Well, no, I mean it's noticeable because it's electronic feedback, but I guess. Anyways, um, corners them into an elevator, and I call her Yuno. They
Is
at first they call her Gasai because in anime, Japanese culture, they don't call each other by the first name until they are very well acquainted, and even then they have to be extremely comfortable with it. But anyway, well, I'm gonna be calling her Yuno. Corners him in an elevator and kisses him before he can do anything. She then tells him she's a diary holder as well. They look down at that time and see a masked person holding a hunting knife. Yuno says she knew that they were hunting him because she can see Yuki's future as her diary is known as the Yuki diary that updates in 10-minute increments. She explains that the killer is the third, quote unquote, and has a future diary as well. They would have to face the killer down somewhere in the open using Yukiteru's darts. Originally, it was going to be fourth floor or the seventh floor, something around there. But she ends up telling Yuki, well, we can't go to those floors because no matter what, if we go there, your diary says you die in those floors. So we're going to go up even higher to the roof where we have the advantage of space, of open space, so they could run around, which is actually pretty smart. All right, now after throwing a dart and piercing the killer's phone, a hole appears on his chest and begins to warp the man, ultimately pulling him in completely. Yuki later on that day confronts Deus and is told that he never said that Yuki would be the only one with a future diary. They are then transported to another area in that multiverse where Deus announces the survival game and its rules. The winner and last one alive would be granted his throne and position of god of space and time. Him killing the killer grants Yuki the nickname First and also paints a target on him, especially when Deus says that he has his bets placed as Yuki as the winner. Yuno then proclaims that she would protect him because her diary is a Yuki diary and because she is in love with him. Which, she's a stalker. I think this
She
anime...
aggressively stalker.
Yeah, I think this anime gave rise to the whole idea of a yandere personality. If you know, you know. If you don't,
You don't.
if they don't, they most likely do, but they don't know what it
I don't.
was. I mean, you're kind of newish to anime though, so that's okay.
I don't
Basically,
know about that.
yandere is you love someone so much that you would kill them, literally kill them.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just want to make
episode 1. It trust me, it took me the entire episode to write those notes. It took me about 2 minutes to say it out loud.
No, you're good. I didn't say anything about it.
No, I'm just saying that I had like an entire essay. It's like an entire
It was good.
essay
It was good notes.
But
all I'm gonna key
go
points on what Chester did mention is that Yuki's diary is about what he sees, right? So it's not towards him. Like it doesn't say like, oh, Yuki walks down a hallway. It's like I walk down a hall. Like this hallway is very clear with this suspicious character or something. Yeah. Yuno's diary gets 10-minute intervals of what Yuki is gonna do before he does it. And then we also learned that the third diary killer is now dead, and Yuki got one dead end that he overcome. I just wanted to make those pointers on this one.
I mean, if he overcame it and like he ended up surviving because of from it, then yeah, of course he overcame it. Kind of obvious.
Episode 2 is contract terms. I think I didn't write it down. Something like that.
Terms of the contract.
Sure. Yuki is still trying to wrap his head around the game, and if he truly killed someone, he wants to ask some questions, but it's hesitant since she is aggressively stalking him. Like, I mean, aggressively throughout the anime. However, he did not. He did end up asking but Yuno told him to hang on since she was going to be late for gym class. A couple minutes pass, then Yuno's future diary changes, and she realizes Yuki is in trouble. The 9th dictionary holder is a terrorist known as Mimi Yuri. She's known as Mimi. Sorry? Mini? Well, in the thing they say, okay, anyway. She has a brief conversation with Yuki explaining how their absent teacher today was the third future diary holder. Of course, Yuki is shocked and receives the dead end text. has obviously comes in hot swinging. Sorry, I need to scroll down, guys. Mini then explains it's too late. She holds the school hostage and rigged the high school with motion sensor bombs. As Yuki combines his ability to predict everything happening around him with Yunu's ability to predict everything happening to Yuki himself, the two manage to evade danger until Mini, whatever, threatens to explode all the bombs unless Yuki is handed over to her. Yuno's idea was to go get help from Yuki's classmate, but he is betrayed. His classmates capture Yuki and bring him to Mimi, which angers Yuno, who runs down the hallways, which causes several classrooms to explode on purpose. Like, she's freaking crazy, guys. Yuki and Mimi are soon confronted by the police officer Kigo. Kigurashi, whatever. We know him as Kigo. Sorry.
Okay,
He
so
is the
you got the
fourth,
first part right. The second part is Kurusu.
whatever. He's known as Kigo. Fuck off. He is known as a fourth future diary holder who is able to predict crimes. Kigo, who is Mini's true target, reveals he is not interested in the survival game and just wants to capture criminals. Jesus, sorry. Kigo and all the classmates work together to distract Mimi by throwing books at her, allowing Yuki to throw a dart at her future diary cell phone. However, Mimi dodges it, injuring her left eye and uses her ability to escape. Afterward, Kigo forms an alliance with Yuki and Yuno to stop other future diary holders. And I know Chester's going to say this right now. I kept saying her name completely wrong all throughout that. Whatever.
Yeah, we've been friends for a while. So her name, because it's gonna be popping up a lot in the future, is gonna be Minene.
Whatever. You know what though? That's better than me. Okay, I'm just gonna say, compared to my past of me explaining the episodes, that was a lot
Oh,
smoother than any of them.
compared to Kurusu, which you said his name was Kigurasaki or something like that. It's a
That was his
huge
last name.
improvement.
The last name
Last name
is
is
what I figured.
Kurusu.
But it doesn't matter. The last name doesn't matter. It's Kigo. That's what matters is the first name.
His
Okay?
first name is
Do we
something
want to talk about what happened last podcast with all the names? I
true.
completely gave up.
Yeah,
Leave it
you
alone.
honestly did.
Episode 3. Go ahead.
Although first name pronounced Keigo. Anyway,
Fuck off.
episode 3, which is entitled Initial Failure.
Hey, wait,
Keigo.
wait, wait. Pause. Sorry,
Yeah.
this is my bad. One thing I wanted to catch up on episode 2. Yuki has the second time that he reached dead end, as well as we are introduced to Kigo. He is a police officer, and his diary predicts crime cases that he's working on. Right.
True.
So we know 3 diary users, and one's dead. So technically 4.
One is also I'm not sure it came up, but when he threw his dart at Minene's future diary, she actually stepped in front of her cell phone and took the dart straight into her eye.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, I mean, how badass is that though?
Okay, fair enough. All right, go ahead. Episode 3, sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, think about it. She could have just literally just stepped in front of it and took it like in the shoulder or hand or arm
Yeah,
or
but like think of it this way, it was just like it was such chaotic for that scene where she could only do so much.
true. But think about it like this as well, right? Why would you forego the entire body, something that is 90%, go for something that is what 10% of something that is of a 10%?
But like it's literally life or death. If it hits the phone, she dies anyway. So it's
Right.
just
So
like
why in
the
the hell was
whole
she
thing
holding it
was
up
to
in front
move
of
the
her?
phone because she was looking for an escape. That's why
No,
you
she was
like
holding it
hold the
like
phone.
dude, she
Anyway,
was holding it screaming
episode
out.
3. We're not no. Anyway, episode 3.
All right. In episode 3, which is entitled Initial Failure, and this is actually where the entire filler comes in, because when this one starts out, when this episode starts out, Yuki and what the fuck is her name? Yasuo?
You know,
Yuno. Gasai. That's what I was thinking of.
it's it's
I know, I know.
just say
Anyways, Yuno and Yuki are in an amusement park. Apparently, they're having fun or they went out for a date, but it turns out that they went because Keigo asked them to go and see if they can lure
Kigo,
Minene out. Keigo.
Kigo.
No, trust me, Keigo.
It's Kigo.
It's Keigo.
Chester, I watched this anime in English.
I watched it in Japanese, which is the original.
Kigo.
Keigo.
Police officer.
It's like saying Keiko. You don't say Kiko.
No, it's literally that's how they pronounced it in English.
Well, they were wrong. Anyways, um, he asked them to see if they could lure out Minene because she got away. Obviously, her diary is the escape diary. Um, and he wanted to see if they could lure her out and out of hiding. Um, while this goes on, while they are in the amusement park, uh, the officer is setting up roadblocks and um he's setting up roadblocks and stopping every single car that goes by to see if Mineni is one of them. There is more snow. Go ahead.
What do you mean?
I need to
Okay.
check up.
Oh, okay, you're good. So like Trista said, so with that information, so with the Kigo, there's no A in his name anyway. Uh, setting up the roadblocks, the Mimi is trying to evade all the police officers, and she can do it easily because of her diary, right? Because hers is literally an escape diary of like it kind of tells her ahead like there are two police officers just ahead of the roadblock, right? So take this way, right? So she's able to easily run away. And then following that, then they go back to and Yuki at the amusement park. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the note where he just left off of.
Also, throughout the
Yuki.
entire thing, and you guys
I'm
will
at the
find this
amusement
out.
park.
I know, I've been listening in. There is
Oh,
no
I'm
A,
sorry.
but it is pronounced Keiko.
You
Anyways,
heard that, huh?
I did hear that. Now, throughout this entire thing, and you guys are gonna pick up on this incredibly quickly, but Yuki is an absolute wuss.
Yep.
Just spineless is all. Anyways, yeah.
Like, oh my god, there's blood. Sorry. Anyway,
There's
continue.
tacos, there's sushi. Which one should I get? I'm gonna piss my pants. Kind of.
Proceed.
Yeah. Anyways, she then, from where Snow left off, Minene does look at her diary, trying to look for an escape route. But the second that she follows it, she finds out that the one of the cops has actually looks over at her, finds her, identifies her, and starts chasing her.
Well, she escapes.
Right, but she does end up escaping, obviously. Now, as to why this happens, we don't know. I mean, it honestly, it's weird that her escape diary was wrong.
Well, it's also
Mainly
think of it this
because,
way. They
well,
because it's like it's off of people's reactions. So like at the end of episode 3, Yuki does something completely different and it changes everyone's diary.
right, but I mean, this is actually really that's a good point, but it's also because he is
He did
a
the unthinkable.
trump card or a wild card, since
Okay.
he had
Let's just
already gotten
continue.
dead end twice and then averted that. Now,
Let's
anyways,
just
Yuki was depressed over. Sorry, now this goes on later on, but he, while that is all happening, Yuki and Yuno end up going into a Ferris wheel to get a little bit of privacy so that the officers that are nearby don't listen in, don't spy, or don't know what he is asking her or what they're talking about. He tells her that she's not telling him something, that she is hiding something from him, but she sidesteps it and says that
Of course, I'm hiding something.
yeah, she hides sidesteps.
That's literally what she said. Of course, I'm hiding something.
Well, yeah, but doesn't actually say what it is. He was fishing for a straight answer for that, but yeah, I mean, he's hiding something too, and that's that he was using her just to stay alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, um, when they're up top, she asks if they should go to a planetarium since she remembers that he told her the previous year that he loved looking at the stars. Um, he tells her no, that they're not going to go there. They are at least not on this night. They weren't going to go there. Anywhere that they could go, they would go, but not to the planetarium. Um, the reason for that is that Yuki was depressed over his parents' divorce a year ago. Um, Yuno did offer to marry him in the future to cheer him up. Although Yuki then realizes that Yuno is still hiding something, she refuses to divulge or tell him anything more. Like we said, later on that night, when they leave the amusement park, she asks if he'd like to go to her place for a snack, for treats, for whatever it is, and he
You get what
accepts.
I'm saying? Sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
Now, while he's looking for the bathroom at her place, which is a really nice old Japanese style house with the tatami floor mats, the sliding screen doors, all that. You guys know what I'm talking about. Um, while he was looking for the bathroom on that, he opens a bizarre door to a room containing 3 decomposed corpses. An act that changes the future of every future diary holder drastically and causes uh, casualty continuum breakdown. This excites Deus very much because never in all his days or in all his days being
Lives.
God was this ever supposed to happen.
Well, it's like the
Which,
unthinkable.
well, yeah, especially he then like kind of points it out because he says first, you made one miracle happen, then you made 2 miracles happen. This one is miracle 3, and this is actually going to be changing everything from now on. So either he knew what was going to happen beforehand, and this he made it so that um, this was there as a taunt for Yuki. So he was supposed to see it and move on and completely ignore it. But what ended up happening is Yuki saw it. He knew he was looking at his diary, and it just said, I walk past it and go to the restroom. He ignores that. He actually opens a door, and in so doing, changes everyone's outcome. So Deus might have known what was going on, what was going to happen beforehand. As of this point, he might just be completely blind to everything that's going on later. Now, because of this, Yuki obviously is extremely terrified. He's scared, and he runs home, only to find that Yuno is right outside his door. Uh,
Creepy, by the way.
right,
Sorry. I didn't mean
dude.
to interrupt you, but
No,
like
you're
she was
that's
like
okay. You are completely
right behind the
correct.
door and like you guys know the mail slots in between the older doors. Yeah, and she just opens that with her like weird bulging eyes like and she said something really creepy, but the fact that she's there is insane. Sorry. I just
Yeah.
had to point that out. That was like a
No,
good
you're
creepy
right.
stalker pointing cuz like of course Yuki freaks out. Like he's like, "Oh my god." Right? So,
Yeah, no, it's weird as all hell. Um, he then runs up to his room. He throws a blanket around himself like he does when he normally goes over to speak with Deus. And the second that he tries to
yes.
no, the second that he tries to call the cop because he goes, well, there's 3 rotting corpses in this house. Um, the best thing to do would be to tell the cop guy. The second that and that he opens up the contacts to call the cop, before he presses the call button, he gets a text or he gets an email from Yuno, and he ignores it the first couple times. At the third time that he tries it, he opens it, and it's just a text message from her asking, "Who are you calling?" So
Yep. Creepy.
she's weird as all hell, dude.
Mhm.
Now, this isn't actually where it ends, because we actually get to see what Minene is up to. Um, because she had run away, and because she was running away from the cops, she didn't go back to her hideout. Instead, a guy came up, walking straight to her, and tells her that she could run away again, or she can help him, or he can help her with her eye. Exhausted and cornered, though, uh, she, I don't want to say she lets herself get, but anyway, he
No,
takes her.
she feels safe.
Yeah, well, safe-ish. He's weird
Yeah, well,
too.
she's like she he drugs her, and then it's just like she feels like, why is my diary like updating? And it's because it's like literally a bark of wood, right? So essentially,
Pretty
so
much, yeah. Um, he takes her up to a hut in the woods, where the guy reveals himself as a future diary holder. He drugs and tortures her to get information from the other future diary holders. So it's this one's a little bit of a brain fuck, because Snow's right. It's
weird.
she's laying down looking at her future diary, and it just keeps updating, and every single update is the exact same thing. Only to find out that she snaps out of it, and she's holding a bark of wood.
Yeah, which is actually kind of clever too, though,
Oh yeah, I
because
mean,
it
and
like they did it good. Like,
they really honestly did. It was so good.
all right. I don't really have any notes for episode 3.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like
episode 3.
it
It's one of those
kind of
filler
just
episodes.
shows
You could
like
literally just kind of
Yuki
skip over it.
and like the weird intimacy that they kind of developed in that episode, but also like it. So there's that from the beginning, but near the end, it like went from like a 360.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, like essentially, that's like literally they got intimate, and then like 360. Um, yeah, that's kind of all I gotta say. There was nothing too much,
Sure.
but am I good to start on episode 4?
You are a-okay to start on episode 4.
All right. Episode 4 is handwritten, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yuki in his sorry. Whew. Yuki is in his room, confused and scared of what he saw in Yuno's house at the end of episode 2. He wants to call the police, but since Yuno knows everything he does 10 minutes before he does it, this scares him. The next day, Yuki, Yuno, and Kigo visit the Omekata cult. Fix it. What did
Omekata.
Omekata, thank you. The cult's leader is Chester.
Tsubaki Kasugano.
Sabaki. Okay, Sabaki. Who is the sixth future diary holder. She has the ability to read a scroll from what she is being seen by her followers, but she has a dead end that will happen later that day. Since Yuki has already evaded death twice to Sabagaski, good enough? Good enough. Okay. Asks him to stay with her for the night, and
Tsubaki. It's Tsubaki.
Sabaki. Okay. Sabaki asks him to stay with her for the night, and in exchange, Sabaki will hand over a Minami, whatever. Yuki
Minene?
accepts.
I'm sorry, I'm
Okay,
trying to
you
keep
know what?
up.
At least I'm trying to use the names.
No,
Okay,
I'm trying to keep up with what you're saying, but
like
it's yeah.
you have the
I'm not
notes in
making fun, I
Discord.
promise.
You're making fun. Which causes Yuno resentment because obviously she doesn't like the fact that Yuki's gonna spend a night with Sabaki.
Tsubaki.
Okay, whatever. Um, at night, Sabaki,
Tsubaki.
followers. Okay, Chester. Just
Sorry,
leave it
sorry.
alone.
Okay, gotcha.
Her followers fall under a mind control from the 12th future diary holder, Yamasto?
Yomatsu.
Yamatsu. Okay. Doesn't matter. He doesn't last long. Sorry. It's
Freaking
true.
spoilers. Getting ahead of yourself there. Jesus Christ. Now, hang on. Before you go any further, we do actually have to point something out. Where everybody so far, their future diary is a cell phone. Tsubaki's is a scroll.
Mhm. A blind and insane man wearing a large one-eyed mask who captured Mimi. Sorry.
Minami.
Yeah.
Go
So
on.
he is the one that kidnapped her as well as was torturing her. So there's a fire that started. So Kiga goes to find the sprinkler system. Yuki and Sabaski, whatever, are fighting against the mind control followers that are trying to kill them with axes. The shrine is essentially being invaded by zombies with axes, if you think about it. But they manage to evade danger. Yuno goes psycho and starts hacking at the followers with an axe and poses an ultimatum to Yuki: either join her or die, said. And that's essentially what they left off on.
Pretty much.
So,
It
but we
sound
learned.
it sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So what we learned is that is going more crazy. Sabaski is the 6th future diary holder. She has the scroll, and then whatever her fault, because she has impaired vision. Forgot to mention that. Sorry. So she can't really see. She can see like her hands out, but anything else she can't really see. And she has a really fucked up story, which Chester can explain on the next episode, because I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. I literally texted you when I saw it. I was like, I'm not, no.
You did not.
I
You told
did
me.
actually. I know
You
I did on Snapchat. I said, I'm
no,
not.
you didn't. No, you didn't. I
Yes,
promise
I
you
did.
did not.
I did.
You
I did.
didn't. Bro, you did not.
Anyway, so she can't really see. Yeah, so she is the dead end. And then we also learn the 12th future diary holder, whatever.
Yamotsu.
Thank you.
You're
Yamatsu.
welcome.
There we go. Okay. So do you have any things that I missed? I don't think I really missed anything on that one.
No. Actually, yeah. The way the fire started.
Oh,
It's
it was the followers because they were mind controlled
yeah,
into following.
they were being hypnotized of mind control. Yeah, mind control is actually a really good way to kind of
That's literally what they said it was, mind
well,
control.
hang on. Apparently the Yomotsu had snuck a inflammatory device into the futon or the blankets that they were bringing in for Tsubaki to sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
So they out of nowhere just started smoking, and instead of putting it out, they decided to set it down. Oh no, they did try to put it out with gasoline.
You did, yeah, with
With
gasolines. So, yeah, that was great. But
yeah, what I
yeah,
don't like
that's like,
about what I don't like about
mm,
episode 4 is that they don't actually explain how they were being mind controlled or hypnotized.
that's also why I said we should do 4 and 5 together because they
Okay,
go together.
that's
That's
fair enough.
why I didn't want to like end it just on 4 like we normally would. Because right now, guys, it would kind of be like, yeah, we already did it. But we're actually doing really good on time.
We are. It's obscenely quick. Now, episode 5. Are we good to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, episode 5. Thanks for making me do the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
It's titled Voice
I'm not
Message.
touching it.
That's so fucked up. Anyway,
I'm not. Nope.
titled Voice Message. Now, in a flashback, Tsubaki then starts to explain how she became the priestess of the Omekata cult. And this was after her parents fooled people of her clairvoyance. She was then brutally assaulted by the male followers. I'm not going to say what it was
Yeah, it
because
is.
then we will get flagged for it. So, no, don't say anything.
I didn't
But
say
she
anything.
is brutally assaulted by the male followers in the cult. Um, Anyway, after they started doing that after both her parents died in a car accident and lost a ball that once belonged to her mother, which helped her maintain her sanity. So as long as she had the ball, it's like a little keepsake for a lot of people. When they're younger, it's like a teddy bear, a doll, a blanket, something like that. For her, it was a little ball that her mom had given her. But when it finally ended up getting lost, she just kind of gave in. She stopped caring about anything. Now, we flash back to the present as Yuki, Yuno, and Tsubaki flee.
Wait,
They
pause.
are, well, yes. What? Go ahead.
Sorry. Essentially, guys, just skip the first 4 minutes of the episode 5, and then the rest is good.
Don't no. Well, you could skip it for sure, but if you do, it's going
Mm,
to it will confuse the next couple episodes if they
nope.
do. If they do, because episodes 6 and 7, six slightly six,
No, the
but seven
beginning is
for
just that,
sure.
part of her history.
True, but it does explain some stuff. Anyway, the reason that they ended up doing this is becomes apparent later on, which I will talk about. Now, anyways, we flash back to the present. Yuki, Yuno, and Tsubaki are running away. They are stopped by Yamato with 4 hypnotized cult members dressed like him, who explained that he used the diary from his tape recorder to find Tsubaki, intending to kill her using an explosive device inside of him. So he had actually taken a, oh boy, this one's kind of tough. Uh, he had swallowed a tiny remote explosive device that he stole from Minene. Remember, he still has her trapped. Now, the reason that his diary is a tape recorder is because he is completely blind.
As we described in
Hmm.
episode, like in you described in the future
Yeah,
episode.
he is completely blind, but he does explain that because he's blind, his other senses are extremely heightened, especially his sense of hearing. Um, in all honesty, it still didn't explain how he was mind controlling anybody. But anyways, he pops up with 4 other people, and they're dressed exactly like him, except with different color schemes. Power Rangers, hello. Um, it's true. It's true.
I didn't say anything.
If you follow the Power Rangers, then you know what that is. If you follow the Japanese version, Super Sentai. Now, anyways, he manages to tell. Yeah. Anyway, he swallowed the explosive device and then vanished. He did explain his backstory, but believe me, it's gonna be so much better if you guys watch the anime yourselves to find it out. Um, it is both pretty funny and kind of sad at the same time, at the exact same time. Now, anyways, when he tries to bum rush Yuno and Yuki, Yuno ends up being able to find out who is the real one by grabbing a pebble and saying, "Hey, look at that over there," pointing to the left, throws the pebble to the right, and once it hits the railing, everybody's turning to the left, with only the real one turning to the right because he goes off of the sound, not from the sight. So she ends up telling him, "Wow, you have a really good sense of sense of hearing."
Hearing.
Um, she rushes forward and slices him. I think she cuts his throat, right? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And just as she does, the tape recorder starts playing, and it says Yomoto Hidasaka is killed, dead end. He falls back over the railing, dies, and because of that, he explodes because he set off the explosive incendiary device. Now, anyways, we then move on. Yuno does manage to cut off Tsubaki's right hand, and
Which she's
it
curious
gives
about
yeah.
because she was aiming for the scroll, but Sabaki moved in time.
Yeah. Also, by this point in time, we can tell that Yuno is severely incapacitated, or she's becoming severely incapacitated. We don't know exactly why. I think it's because they had drugged her as well. Actually, I think
I
they
think
had
she's
drugged
just
her.
over. No, I think she's just overexhausted with the crazy psycho part.
Well, no, because at the beginning, if you remember, at the beginning of episode 4, yeah, um, Tsubaki was actually saying that she needed Yuki. She saw, we see like a little flash of Yuno in her eye as well, even though they're not nearly close enough to where they could see it, which again, clairvoyant. And then says, I don't need her. So I'm thinking that she was probably drugged with something and that was affecting her
Mm.
physically. Um, she did swing an axe, aiming for the scroll, but Tsubaki ends up moving just slightly and gets her right hand cut off. And I mean, it gets completely sliced off from the wrist down to the entire
Pretty actually
hand.
nice to see.
Actually, really was. It was a quick flash, but
And then she's
whoa,
like, "You bitch!"
yeah.
Sorry. It's just like random. Like,
Anyways, uh, she gives Yuki her cell phone before collapsing from exhaustion and being captured. Yuki then manages to avoid detection using both the diaries, but Sabaki lures them out by announcing that Yuno will be severely assaulted and killed by her followers. He does manage to reach Yuno in time, but Tsubaki gloats that her scroll will predict his every action, as long as he is in sight of her followers. Using that
there's like
knowledge,
hundreds, by the way. There's like a whole colony in there.
yeah, and they're all men. Now,
No, actually, there's some women, but they're kind of not
the
as.
ones that are close to Yuno are all men, though.
Oh, 100%. Of
Yeah.
course. I wouldn't expect anything else.
Um, Taking this into consideration and finally using this to his advantage for the first time in 5 episodes, Yuki ends up he pulls out a ball and tosses it up into the air.
And it's the ball.
Yeah, it is the ball that Tsubaki had lost. That it had gone missing. She somehow lost it. Obviously, somebody
I
had
think it
took it.
just rolled away out of her reach, right?
I don't think so
And
because it
since,
ended up being underneath one of the buildings.
well, think of it this way, though. Like when she lost it, it was because she was being assaulted,
True.
right? And it rolled out of her hand. And then I think over time, it's just like kind of like it just kept going farther and farther outside because he was
Also true.
outside
Well, I mean,
under.
also true. But if she's in a cult, the way that a cult operates is they will break their members first, mentally and physically, and then they just basically give up. Which is basically what happened with her. Right after
Anyway,
the after the ball was
I
lost, she
don't really want to
basically.
talk about this.
I'm making her talk about it. Anyways, he tosses the ball into the air, causing all the followers to look at it. Everyone, men, women, not little kids, because the little kids aren't there. Um, the diary is then rendered useless because all the entries end up being member looked up into the air and saw a ball. Yuki then throws a dart at the scroll and pierces it, causing her to vanish and allows Yuki and Yuna to escape. Meanwhile, Minene, who was released by Yomotsu, later gets captured by Keigo, not Kigo, Keigo, who eventually lets her go in return for her contact information. And that's actually where we leave off on episode 5.
Mhm.
Thoughts, notes, extra notes, anything?
Um, I think I'll just brush up on the people if that's okay.
That's a-okay.
Okay. So, because I have a list in the Discord of the threads. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see it.
So what we've learned so far is that Yuki is the first diary future diary holder. He gets information about what he sees and does. Second would be Yuno. She gets information 10 minutes at 10-minute intervals about Yuki. The third future diary holder was it doesn't matter. He's dead.
It does no, it does. Well, first of all, it did matter.
Takao
His name doesn't matter.
Take.
Yeah,
That's what I
the
mean. That doesn't matter. Like his name. I
yeah
never
no
learned
the
what his diary was about though.
his was a murder diary.
Murder. Okay.
Yeah, so
If
he
you want to fix that
kept
on my note.
yeah
I
yeah.
didn't do that.
His diary
Um,
kept track of all the murder or all of his kills, so his personal kills.
fair.
And he
The
was
four.
actually, side note, he was Yuki and Yuno's homeroom teacher.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned that in episode 2.
Just recapping.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, my bad. The fourth feature diary holder is Kigo. He gets information about crime cases he's working. We
Mm-hmm.
don't know who fifth is yet. I say
No, we
yet.
don't. We don't.
Sorry. The sixth future diary holder is Sabaki. You mentioned she dies in that episode, right?
Yep.
Okay. So she dies in episode 4 or
So she
5.
stops
I
being
wrote
important
4.
for now.
Sorry. She has the ability to read a school from what she sees from her followers. We don't know 7. We don't know 8. 9. We learned that it was Mini, a way to escape crimes. And then 12 was the crazy freaking dude that lasted like 2 episodes.
Sablanka, yeah.
Yes, the blind guy. I will edit this and fix this.
Number 12 was Yomotsu.
Yeah, I forgot to update it when I sent my notes. So
I think I missed it, but did you also mention that the 12th gouged out Minene Sai?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh yes.
While she was captured. Yeah.
That
While
was
she
in
was.
your episode.
I'm
That you
just
just
making
talked
sure
about.
because you did
Okay.
fill in some stuff. I didn't want to overstep.
Oh, no, you're good. My bad. Sorry.
No, you're good. So yeah, that's just a side note. But since Yuki's dart did pierce her eye, it's completely useless. Yomotsu ends up drugging her, numbing her, and gouging out the ruined eye. Not the good eye, just the ruined eye. Nah, that's about it.
That's fair. I think that's about it.
I think so.
Like,
That's up to episode 5 too.
Yeah, I was like, we didn't really spend that much time on this podcast, and it's like we could honestly go for episode 6, but since you haven't watched 7, that's going to be a no.
Well, we could stop before number 7.
Well, the thing is, though, they go together.
Well, I mean, it's a story. They all go together.
No. What I mean though is like the shrine. Like the shrine's kind of like 1 episode and a half.
True.
Right.
Also true.
And then like it'll just make more sense. Just yeah.
That's true.
And I'm pretty sure episode 8 and 9 are gonna go together. I don't know. I think like we're gonna have to do odds on this anime, like end on odd numbers because we've been pretty good on ending even numbers. But I think we might have to.
Well, we might do 4 episodes per 4 anime episodes per podcast. Mainly because if it's kind of broken up like that, it'll be, I'm guessing 6 and 7 are going to be together, 8 and 9 are going to be together, so we might end up having to stop on 9
maybe
to go on 10. So
it definitely branches off onto something, doesn't finish on the actual episode.
Yeah, that's going to end up happening here and there too. Mainly for fillers, extra information, stuff like that. But I'm just kind of guessing.
No, you're good.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of guessing that it's gonna be. It was supposed to be 1 and 2, 3 and 4, but they went 1, 2 filler number 3, 4 and 5.
That's a valid point.
So, yeah. But
yeah, I don't really have anything else.
I don't either. I think we are gonna have to end up stopping on that one, for sure.
Fair enough.
So, thank you guys for watching, listening. This was Future Diary on the Anime Book Club. Again, I am Chester. This was Snow.
Hi.
And that is Keigo. Now, you guys... if you guys enjoyed it, please go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, comment, share with your mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin. Oh, by the way, hello to my cousin who actually just subscribed. He actually just hit his anime nerd phase. So he is heavy into Naruto and a bunch of other animes right now. We're not gonna
I'm
do,
almost done Naruto.
yeah. Um,
Sorry.
oh, are you really? Oh, I did send you.
I'm kind of at the point. Okay, I need to go pee really badly. You can finish up here, and then we can
Have a
gossip
good
about
pee.
Naruto.
All
Sorry,
right,
I'm like dancing.
go, 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 go. So yeah, just to finish this up, I did go ahead and on Saturday I sent Snow a video of my cousin saying that he was in episode 1 of Naruto Shippuden. He's actually about halfway done. Um, but yeah, but yeah, share it. Mom, dad, brother, sister, cousins, aunts, uncles, grannies, gramps. Um, they might like it. Who knows? But yeah, you guys have a great one. I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Next time is going to be episode 6 and 7 for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking now. You guys have a great one. Bye bye.
そしてフォースコとこの俺クルス敬吾